Happy Testimony Tuesday. Hey, hey, hey. Happy to see everybody. Special shout out to, those descendants of the African diaspora. I hope people are hopping in from everywhere. And I'm hoping you're having a really good Tuesday, y'all. So, I hope, look, come in, take your shoes off for a second, even if you're like sneaking this live in at the office, if you had to run into the bathroom, your mental shoes, leave them at the door, check your keys, your resume, all that stuff. You don't need it for right this second because we're just about to have a quick, just weekly fill up for your faith tank, okay? Because we need it. The purpose of Testimony Tuesday is just that, to remind us that there are miracles happening every single day. There are miracles happening right now, outside, to your left, to your right. If you look for them, if you know how to recognize them, and if you stay in just that season, that feeling, that aura of gratitude, right? We know that faith is the fuel that powers our manifestations. Nothing happens without faith. There's a meme that's going around. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you're in those social media streets, you'll see it soon enough that says, if prayer happened instantly, or if you got the answers to your prayer instantly, what would be the point of faith? And exactly that lets us know that faith is one of those things that we need in all those amazing things. If you are not familiar, I am Brandy A. McPherson, and I'm super excited, and might I say proud, to be joining in today in collaboration with the Orisha Hoodoo Institute for Testimony Tuesday. So in these Orisha Hoodoo streets, you may know me as Aje Iigbe Ife Yomilori, Aje Iigbe for short. Okay. So last Testimony Tuesday, I proved that I could be a smidge long-winded, right? And so I'm gonna really make sure that I'm not this time. So we just gonna, instead of having all that good old convo, we're gonna hop right into the testimony. Okay. So remember, but I do have to give you a little bit of background, okay? Just a little bit of background. And of course, let me know that you can hear me. Drop some mermaids, drop some hearts in the comments. Let me know that you're here, because technology is a little new and different. Trying out some new things. So I do want to know if you can hear me, okay? But they had to say no news is good news. I'm gonna assume that we're good to go with the text. So just tell me otherwise, okay? But last Testimony Tuesday, I shared with you guys about that one time God showed up to me through a rap song in an overdraft. And that may sound like that's not God. But if you caught the live, that you know that God is everywhere and in everything and will speak to you in languages that you can decipher. So if you didn't catch it, go back and find it. Okay, it should be on my social media, so check it out. But because we can remember now and we know that God shows up in all these different ways, and He's there if you just open your eyes and seek. Remember that kind of as a precursor to today's testimony, because obviously they all build upon one another, right? That was like the point, right? So today I want to tell you about that one time I got hit by a car on my birthday. And this is a testimony, it's one that I should share more. And that's why I'm excited to share it now, because people die for less. Like you hear the entire story, and like I said, it's that one time that I got hit by a car on my birthday. But people die for less. And so it is to, again, show us that even in the muck, God can be there. Just have your eyes open, okay? So here it go. Giving all honor and glory to God, who is the head of my life. Like our good elders would say during testimony service, okay? So to set the tone, this is my 24th birthday, right? So, 24 is a super fun age. I'm not going to say how far away from 24. I'm only 25 now. So this didn't happen last year, really, but I'm only 25. So you do the math. I don't know how you do the math, but you do the math, right? So on my 24th birthday, I'm a Halloween baby. So my birthday's on Halloween. Take that, go ahead and write it down in your books, write it down in your calendars, be prepared to send extra candy my way, because Halloween is my birthday. So it always feels like the world is celebrating for my birthday. Okay, even if I'm not in a birthday mood, There's parties going on. There's specials going on. People are literally in costumes, right? All is one, free sis. Thank you for taking the time to hop in. We're just talking about this one crazy time that I got hit by a car on my birthday. And a lot of times when people say they hear got hit by a car, they're like, oh, you got into a car accident? Like, you were in a car that got hit by a car. And I'm like, no, I got my body physically got hit by a car. Okay. So, like I said, I'm a Halloween baby. So there are always things going on. So even if people aren't necessarily celebrating me, even though we know they're all celebrating me because it's my birthday, you know what I mean? Even if they aren't, they're in the mood to celebrate. Okay. So that's the time of the year. That's what it is. That's the feelings. That's the vibes. Okay. This is a safe space, ain't it, y'all? I know because collaborating with the Arisha Hoodoo Institute, I know that this is, if you're here, it is divine alignment and that you're supposed to be here. I feel like it's a safe space. I want y'all to know that anytime you tune into anything that we're doing, it's a safe space. And in that, I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to be a little transparent with you guys, okay? Because what is a good testimony without some transparency, right? Okay. Around this 24th birthday, things weren't really that hot. Things, for whatever reason, God is so good that right now, I couldn't even pinpoint to you everything that was wrong at the time or that felt wrong at the time, okay? But it was definitely a very interesting sequence of events that took place around this same time. And I was very down, I would say. Dare I use the world's lingo and say depressed? I think that may be, the word that I'll use, okay? So that's just to paint the picture of what was happening so that you guys can understand. So that's a little bit of background for honesty, Things weren't that great. I wasn't really in a great space. And like I said, this is my 24th birthday. I'm a little young, not too young to blame anything on, but I'm a little young. So definitely very fresh when it comes to my spiritual walk and my spiritual journey. I am the granddaughter of a bishop. I come from a long line of Christian evangelists and apostles. So I'm not a stranger to the church. But as you guys know, as we grow, we learn, we evolve, our perspectives, our belief systems and things evolve with us. Okay. So this was very, very fresh in that time. Okay. So I'm saying I'm not praying every day. Ain't no holy oil around in the house. It won't none of that around this time when I was 24. Okay. So my birthday comes around and I'm broke. Right. I just said stuff on hot. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke. And to make a long story short, I think we joked about that last Testimony Tuesday too. I'll tell a long story, just like the good old elders, right? So let me bring it in. But I'm broke. It's my birthday. It's also Halloween weekend, so of course people want to celebrate, right? I was offered the opportunity to go out, drinks on somebody else. Okay, so this is me and my partner at the time. Long time estranged, but partner at the time. Okay, so somebody's like, hey, let's go out. Oh, it's your birthday? Bet, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it was already, just under the knowledge or knowing that, the tab was on somebody else, right? So it's been a while since I was able to really just go out, have fun, let loose, indulge. If you know anything about old Brandy, and if you may be catching this from my Facebook page, and if you are, then if you know, I will drink you under the table. My last name rings bells in these drinking streets, right? Like I can drink. And it's been a while at this time that I've, really just been able to do that because depression, situations, life, learning, right? Okay. Long story short, like I've already said, I go out. It is a restaurant locally. It is called Carolina Ale House, right? And I pinpoint that just because if you are local, I'm gonna give you some location marks so that you can follow along. Okay. So the turn up is at Carolina Ale House, and I drink, right? And that I can hold my liquor, but I drunk this night. Okay. Because let's be honest, I'm trying to hide and mask and self-medicate all those other things that are going on, right? What they say, tell the truth, shame the devil, point the thing out so that you can cast it out, yeah? So at this time, that's like definitely self-medication. I was with somebody that won't making it no better. I throw it back, they throw it back, we just gonna throw it back, right? Well, as the night progresses, again, I'm still able to move and go, so I appear to be fine, even though up here was two shades in the wind, like people would say. Um, so I break away from the party that I'm with, super small party. It's only two other people, right? But I go to the bathroom. Some argue, why do they let you go to the bathroom by yourself? Those are the questions that we'll never know the answers to, okay? But we were all preparing to leave, and I headed to the bathroom first, okay? I can honestly say I remember going to the bathroom, and I remember, like, you know how it would be spinning? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I remember the spin and the light of the bathroom. I left out thinking I'm gonna go meet up with the party, and I climb into the back of a truck that I'm thinking is the truck that I'm in, and I lay down in the back seat. Because I'm drunk, y'all. Okay. Long story short, as we keep saying, so if you are local, so that vehicle then goes from Carolina Ale House to Pamela. So that's about, I don't know, like a good maybe like 11 miles type, 15-minute type drive. Um, they discover me in the back. There's this big hoopla, of course, rightfully so. Why is this lady in my back seat? I go to leave and walk across the street. I got smacked by a black Cadillac traveling about 50 miles per hour, heading, what would they say, eastbound. Car kept going. And in hindsight, I'm sure the car probably ain't even know what it hit. You know what I mean? Car kept going. The car eventually came back. I do not remember myself firsthand the next 3 days. I'd also like to add that I've been able through the tools and things that we learned at the Orisha Hoodoo Institute through meditation and other means to tap into that to fill in some of the gaps. So the gaps that you guys just heard, like the me getting into the car, I had to put that part in there because it was always how did I make it all the way to family, right? So there were different pieces that it was a wild, crazy night that all we really knew was I got hit by a car. The people that I was with went to go look for me, and they just realized I was gone. I was missing for hours. When my best friend couldn't hear from me, oh no, so I think someone from the party I was with, my partner at the time, reached out to my best friend like, "Hey, is Brandy with you?" She was like, "No, she's not with you." And so that, of course, started a whole thing. My mom gets called and all of that. And yeah, I'm missing me, guys. Like they almost had to put me on a milk carton. Like I was missing. Okay. And that's what happened during that time. So yeah, I was able to fill in some of those blanks by the technologies, that we learned. So I encourage you guys to definitely tap into, all of that, but more on that later. But yeah, I don't remember really the 3 days after. I tore my MCL in my knee. It's part of your knee system. I had 13 staples in my head, so my head was gashed open, and I had a concussion. Yeah, ain't that but like what they say, but I live to see another day. But now we're here talking to each other, talking about the goodness of God, right? So it happened, but again, what's that old cliche? Probably somebody's proverb, author unknown. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. So there were so many things that worked then that, of course, I had no idea was at work, but glory be to God, right? Right. Okay. So that's one of those testimonies that I work a lot in with community programs and things like that. And so, when alcohol awareness comes up or when it's that time of the year, people love to hear about that story. So definitely, if that's something you want to explore, let me know. I will lay some gems for your babies. And so they know about responsible alcohol consumption, because obviously I'd gone through the dares in elementary school and all the other programs, and I learned about the effects and the magnitude of alcohol on the body. But in practice and in play, sometimes those things really don't come back to register. But I always say, us, especially as young people, we have to learn something for ourselves. We have to experience it before it really, really downloads in there. So I guess, I had to experience it big so we can go ahead and just take care of that thing, right? So you might be, again, like, Brandy, why are you sharing this with me? Why are you letting me know you got hit by a car? Because this is your weekly check-in to fill up your faith bank and to remember that we can say, God, do it again. So God saved me. When people talk about being saved, I see being saved in a completely different lens than a lot of people, because I say, no, like God saved me, like saved me, like literally saved me, because I see it in the news all the time. And I'm a crybaby, I'm a waterhead, right? So I see it in the news and I cry. I remember, I'm grateful because people die for less. People die for less. So that the takeaway is that God is with you even in the mess. Sometimes we feel like, I have to get clean. I got to get my prayer life right. I need to make sure I'm meditating. I gotta find my spiritual community before you think you can tap into spirit, before you can align yourself with the Most High. And I don't know who told us that and why we started to believe that, but it's super duper false. So this is your reminder and your proof. Sometimes we need proof. It's lofty and it's an idea unless you have proof, right? So this is your proof that God was with this little black girl when she was drunk and drinking and with people that she shouldn't have been with and was in places where she shouldn't have been. God was still there. And he made sure that, he walked with me. And I'm forever grateful for that. So happy Testimony Tuesday, y'all. Okay. Just a bonus, not even bonus, but another connection, because we're talking about just testifying, right? And testifying is just witnessing. Okay, so in the Ifa tradition, we spoke about it a little bit. If you're familiar, if you're not, ask questions. You'll see it on some of the lives. But in Ifa, we have Odus, right? And my good sis Omisika said the other day, Odu is really a collection of holy scriptures that are specifically for you and for your life path, right? So when I, one time sitting on the mat, that's what we would say in the community, right? Sitting on the mat with a babalawo and having those things read, it came out in my Odu that maybe alcohol not for you. Maybe alcohol aligns you with things that are not for your greatest good. Maybe alcohol attracts energies to you that are not of your greatest good. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? Alcohol not really for you. Maybe consider that. How did Ifa know that? I never talked about being hit by a car with my EI at that time or with the Baba. How did Ifa know? Right? But then I find out, my Ifa name is Ifa Yomi Lori. It means Ifa protects me from danger. So Ifa knew and knows that alcohol, it might get me where I don't need to be. But Ifa also said, Ifa protects me from danger. Yes. So happy Testimony Tuesday. I hope it filled up your little faith bank. You're big. Because we got big faith. Big faith is what we have. Even though we know the faith of a mustard seed will move mountains, right? But we are in a world right now where, baby, this whole world needs change. We need to move a lot of mountains. And so we got big faith, okay? So I hope that fueled up your faith bank a little bit and that you'll come back to get fueled up a little bit more. And you can see just that. I have this phrase I joke with OHI a lot. You can't make this stuff up. Like when it shows up and it just is what it is, the truth